Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am AmalgamAsh, and this is Cemetery Mary, a game by Arcade Kitten that was made in either REN'PY or Visual Novel Maker. REN'PY, very nice. Well, title screen is already charming, lovely, simple, pixel art style. Let's start. Warning. Though, this is a warning for you as well as for me. This game contains themes and depictions of the following: stalking, kidnapping, strong language, mild drugs, alcohol, and smoking, blood, murder, suicide, flashing images, and potentially loud noises. Discretion is advised. I have never been to a funeral that I didn't enjoy. That is until very recently. And I wasn't quite sure how to feel. Is it our funeral? Are we the ones who died? It was a beautiful service, and one they certainly deserved. If only it had come later in their lifetime, then maybe it could have been prevented, if there wasn't a murderer in my city. That's what everyone's been saying anyways. The Blackwood Butcher. That's what they called them, at least. It was hard not to overhear the rumors people said about them. I heard they strike at night. I heard they only target one person at a time, and they don't stop until they're dead. I heard it's a ghost, blindly seeking revenge. I didn't believe in any of that, at least not at first, but my parents did. And because of that, they didn't like me going off to the cemetery alone. Staying until it closed, walking home by myself in the dark. Even though it was only across the street, these rumors had made them afraid for my safety. Do you really believe they're real? I asked my father. I do, he answered. Are you really worried for me? My mother did not say anything, but that is to be expected. They thought I was a perfect target. But I still didn't believe in it. Still, they were worried about me, so they sent me off to live with my aunt, uncle, and cousin. They didn't live far. At least, not anymore. They moved from their fancy home in gorgeous Halland City to a small little cabin in the woods. I never understood why, but I never really asked about it either. My parents felt I would be safer with them. Didn't want to leave, but every day I stayed only seemed to stress them out more, so I went, to make them feel better. For the first few weeks everything was fine. I barely left the house, barely went to town anymore. And when I did, I was always with someone, taking all precautions to avoid becoming a victim of the butcher. But I still thought it was only a rumor. Even if the number of deaths in our community increased, I never thought that I, or someone I knew, would be a victim. Then, that thing happened. To those two. And for the first time I was worried. Shortly after that, my own parents disappeared. They weren't in the diner, nor could I contact them. Even the authorities couldn't figure it out. No one had seen them. It was as if they had suddenly vanished. As if they were killed off. I don't like to think about that possibility. Actually, well, there was also that other thing that's happened. Maybe I should have told the authorities about it, or anyone for that matter, but I was too afraid of what might happen if I did. Oof. Your parents are safe. Wake up, Mary. Oh. That surprised me. She's a bit loud. Look at that lovely portrait up there. I love the character design so far. Ah, I knew I would fall asleep if I sat down. Why do I have robot legs? Is it raining outside? It wasn't supposed to rain today. The light's on outside. Is Croven out there? It's Croven. I better go check. What are you doing out here? It's raining. Stupid. You can see that it's raining, Mary. You're out here. Where's Aunt and Uncle? Quit it, Mary. How many times do I have to tell you? They went to hell. Croven, I finished dinner. Come inside. It's spaghetti. I used your favorite sauce, too. Screamo. I used Screamo sauce. Okay, I'll be inside in a second. Just let me put this out. Somebody worked hard on lots of art. What a treat. All the food is cold. Well, that's what you get for, having a black, cold soul. I know, I fell asleep after I made it, so I just wanted to take a seat in the living room, but it's fine. I'm not complaining. Other than that, we didn't say much and dinner was quiet. I cleaned up most of it, but Croven helped a little bit. Pay no mind to the snow scraper outside. After that, he went to go sit in the living room. Once I finished cleaning the kitchen up, I joined him like usual. Normally after dinner, when Kroven and I sit here together, we do something fun. We play a game on our phones together, or we get out a board game, or we play cards. That all sounds amazing. Talk about our days as if something exciting happened. Sorry. But that's when Uncle were still. Kroven's been in a pretty bad mood since. I don't blame him. And neither does Mary. I want to talk to him, but I don't really know if he's much in the mood to talk. We're going to attempt conversation. That's what we're going to do. You see, I think I understand the boy. Perhaps I was once like him. Crow, do you want to talk about it? There's nothing to talk about. I've still got my old therapist's number, you know. That's not the suggestion you want to make, Croven. Ain't there a reason she was your old one? I know, that she was good at this kind of stuff, and I've been thinking that maybe... Shut up, Mary. Just shut up already. Can't I be bitter over it? Why are you trying so hard to rush me into therapy, huh? Thought you knew about this shit better than anyone, but here you are. I'm not gonna stop being upset just because you miss me being all happy, smiley and shit. Can't you just stop trying to fucking talk to me about it? I'll get over it when I get over it. Jeez. Maybe get your own life and then you'll stop worrying so much over mine. Man. Sorry. Jerk cousin. I think I ended up making Kroven more agitated trying to talk to him. Oh well. I have to remember we're not sensible adults. We're just a kid. After a few more moments of awkward sitting, I went upstairs and headed to my bedroom. I didn't want to make Kroven angrier than I had already. I brushed my teeth and got changed into my pajamas. I stretched out on what you could consider my bed. The room I have in the cabin is nice. It's not like my room back in my actual home, but I've stayed here so long I've been able to decorate it a bit more to my liking. It's a pleasant room to stay in, even if it's not quite home. Of course, I don't normally sleep right away. I usually read a book, watch a movie on my laptop, or lie awake, thinking of every embarrassing thing that's happened in my life. But as of recent, I've picked up a different nighttime ritual. One that's nowhere near as pleasant. The text message I had received the days following my parents' disappearance. It was from a number I didn't recognize. Your parents are safe, it had said. I know I should have done something smart. I should have told somebody, but instead, I texted the number back, and they responded to me. I've noticed that other than the first message, they usually don't reach out to me. It's me who keeps texting them, hoping to find out what's happening behind all this. Are you still awake? I am awake whenever you want to talk. Will you tell me who you are? That I cannot do. My identity must remain hidden. Forever? No, not forever. Then why can't you just tell me who this is? Because it's not safe. Why wouldn't it be safe? You'll have to trust me on that. I don't trust you at all. How did you even get my number? Your parents gave it to me. Why would they do that? Because they care about you. You must be lying to me. My parents wouldn't do something like that. I'm sorry, you don't know your parents as well as you think you do. What does that mean? Seriously, you freak me out. I just want my parents back. Please don't drag this out. I just want them back home. You should get some rest. It's late, isn't it? I'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't like to text for too long. Until then, goodbye. Goodbye. They suggested that I get some rest, but how did they expect me to do that? I had never felt more restless in my life, even asleep. I knew I wouldn't rest. When I woke up the next morning, Kroven had already left for the day. But that wasn't a surprise. He'd been staying out late and leaving super early ever since the incident. I think being home bothers him. I'm not surprised. Whenever I pass the diner, I too feel like not being there. It's not the same without Mom and Dad after all. Despite this cabin being out in the middle of the woods, it really isn't all that hard to get back to Blackwood. Outside of our cabin is a faint dirt trail. It gets a bit twisty at some parts, but isn't too confusing. It takes about 15 minutes to walk down, but maybe 10 if you're fast. At the end of the trail, there's a fence, one with a slight gap in it. And past that fence, there's a little community. It isn't big. A few trailers, with a few people living all the way out here. Far from anything that's, well, anything. But there's a road here, and a bus that comes through. It runs through Blackwood. So whenever we need to leave, we take this bus. I see. And then, after the end of a short trip, you're in Blackwood. It's the city I grew up in, and I always really loved it. There's the library and the local stores, but my most favorite place to be is the Blackwood Cemetery. It's got lots of trees to read under and the prettiest headstones I've ever seen. There's a mausoleum, too. I get it. Some cemeteries are really nice to visit. In context, just walking around a field where there are decorated stones. Even mausoleums are at least sometimes nice to look at, though I've never been inside. Private mausoleum, you know? I don't know who it belongs to. Anyways, I always try to leave flowers when I visit, at least every so often, and I visit a lot. I like to think it helps them, you know, not feel lonely. It's a lovely thought. And then, after having spent my day in Blackwood, I come back home the same way I left. But I always make sure no one sees the way I come back home. Just in case, you know? Just careful, good. Despite the recent events, I too leave the cabin more than ever now. Croven is rarely home, and I don't like being here alone. I know I'm just being paranoid, but I don't like the thought that maybe the butcher could find me out here all alone, even if that's the whole reason I'm here in the first place. So I go out a lot now. I feel more comfortable surrounded by lots of people. Despite how things may seem, I always prefer to be around people anyways. That's one reason why I like to go to the cemetery so often. There's always people there, even if you can't see them. That's one way to look at it. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Croven's gone, and the bus I take out into town should be arriving any minute now. So where should I go today? Let's go to the library first. We'll do these things in order, I think. I decided to go to the library. There's nothing quite like a good book. My favorite kind of books are mysteries. Not necessarily murder mysteries, but mysteries in general. In fact, I kind of prefer it when the mysteries don't involve anyone dying. There's a lot less tension there, you know? Nate the Great? But maybe I'm just too soft. I also quite enjoy manga, don't we all? Especially the shoujo kind, don't we all? I feel almost embarrassed to like them, but don't we all? I find that they're cute and nice. And I like seeing characters fall in love, don't we? Yeah, a shoujo. Maybe that's what I'll try to find at the library today. I stepped into the library and began to make my way over to my favorite spot. A tucked away corner in the library right by a single window. Library used to be my favorite place to go to. When I lived in Texas, our city had a sizable library. It changed locations once, and when it moved into its new location, it got huge. And I loved going in there and going down the aisles and checking out books. We have a library in this town as well, but it is a lot smaller. And, well, despite it being small, it does have a lot of material. It's just whenever you get hooked onto something and you go in there knowing what you're looking for, the selection is suddenly like, this is all you have. I haven't been in there in a while. I mean, it's been it might have been like a month, but before the month, I hadn't been in there in like 8 years or something, because I just exhausted it, and then I didn't have any reason to go in. Sometimes, I'd spend an entire day in that corner just reading. I've even managed to finish entire books without leaving the library. I looked forward to doing something like that again today, but when I got to my favorite spot, I noticed a man was already sitting there. I was surprised because usually this library was pretty empty. But this man, he's familiar. I've met him before. Oh, my apologies. Did I take your seat? Oh, it's you. Marianta, yes? Oh, that's right. I remember you. From the funeral, right? Indeed. Do you remember my name? Reginald? That's right. It's a pleasure to see you here. I was hoping I'd run into you again one day. Oh? Aha! I hope it doesn't come off weird. You were just such a pleasant person to be around. You really brought life into that funeral. Aha! Oh, really? Thank you, I think. So what brings you to the library today? Oh, well, I didn't really have plans. So I thought I'd just check out a book or something. Likewise. It's a good plan. What kind of book were you interested in checking out? Let's be honest. I'm actually here to look for a shoujo manga. Look at her face. That's what you get for being honest. A shoujo manga? What's that? Oh, it's like, do you know what a manga is? I have an idea, but I can't say I've ever read one myself. Well, it's like one of those, but it usually centers around the romance between the two main characters, and sometimes they're like friends or rivals. But I really like the comedy ones, because you get cute jokes mixed into the romance. But sometimes the drama ones are really cute too, and they can get really intense. And, sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not good at explaining things. No worries, I think you did a good job. A shoujo sounds interesting. Perhaps I'll check one out myself later. I'm trying to be more open to new things, after all. Anyways, what are you here to read? Me. I'm reading 101 Beautiful Cuts for Men's Long Hair. I mean, Manslaughter on the Disorient Locomotive. I'm going to have a sip of nerd juice now, and I'm going to recommend that you do go watch the movie Murder on the Orient Express. Oh, I've been meaning to read that one too. Do you want it then? What? Oh, no, that's okay. Please, take your time. Just, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell me when you're done with it? You know, so I could maybe read it after. I'm fine with that, though I've already gotten pretty far in, and I don't think I'll be finished by today. You have a cell phone, yes? Would it be alright if I have your number? That way, I can notify you as soon as I'm finished, and well, I'd like to try and be friends too, if that's alright. Bit strange. You're a bit sus, sir. You're a bit sus. What's up with that bird in the corner watching us? Oh, really? I mean, yeah, of course. Bit sus, sir. Reginald and I exchanged phone numbers. I was shocked he even remembered me, but I'd consider meeting him again a pleasant surprise, and one I really appreciated. After our exchange, I picked out a shoujo book from one of the shelves and began to read in one of the other spots in the library. I ended up liking it so much, I looked for the other books and brought 2 or 3 home with me to read later. After I came home, had dinner, and cleaned the kitchen up, I began my usual nighttime routine. I got changed in pajamas, brushed my teeth, sat on my bed, and texted whoever they are. Hi, it's me again. Are you there? Yes. You're still not going to tell me anything, are you? No. Can I ask you something, even if you won't give me an honest answer anyways? Okay. Are you the Blackwood Butcher? Would I tell you if I was? Are you afraid for their safety? Of course, why wouldn't I be? I see. Why do you have them? I wouldn't put it like that. I don't own them after all. Even if they are in my keeping for now. You're way too vague. Why'd you even contact me to begin with? I thought you'd like to know about your parents. I'm only trying my best to keep you happy. You think I'm happy? Maybe not now, but you will be. I have to go now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Ew. After another frustrating and unsettling night of text messages, I got under the covers and tried my best to sleep. It wasn't easy, and I had a lot of difficulty trying. I don't remember exactly when, but eventually I was able to sleep, even if not peacefully. Dad? Ah, again, what lovely art we have. Yes, sweetheart. Is my dad sans? Is something wrong? Mama told me that Uncle Ray died. Did she now? Are we going to go see him? No. You don't need to worry about that. I don't? But, listen, Mary. Normally when someone passes, you hold a funeral for them, right? Yeah. The thing about funerals, though, is that they're for people who are worth remembering. Oh, gosh. Bad blood there, huh? After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. I still love that picture. Back there, that is awesome. Croven's gone, and the bus I take into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? Oh, cool. So we can advance the story by making these choices. I figured it was like I was going to have to hit up all 3 in the same day, and I forgot I had to make this choice. This is cool. It's cozy. I know I got a warning at the beginning for some extreme content, but that didn't happen yet this episode. Just talking about it. Stuff like that, sort of in that vein. Mature topics ahead, I'm sure. But for now, I'm going to leave this episode here. So, this game is available for free on itch and on Steam, and it's available for Windows, Mac, Linux, at least. And there were a couple of other platforms, I believe. So, it's definitely something worth checking out if you'd like to experience this for yourself. There may be content that I won't get to in my playthrough of it to show you, so you might uncover a lot of different things than what you see here as well. For now, I'm going to go, and I'll pick this up again tomorrow, so thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I hope you have a great day. Till then, bye for now.